One of the amazing things about Warsaw is the parks. There is at least about 80 of them. I'm gonna show you the ones that are really worth to see. And here is my top 5. The Royal Baths Park, or in Polish, Łazienki Królewskie. It is the largest park in Warsaw, originally designed in the 17th century as a baths park for a nobleman Stanisław Lubomirski. In the 18th century, the park was transformed by Poland's last monarch, Stanisław II Augustus, into a setting for palaces, villas, classicist follies and monuments. In 1918, it was officially designated as a public park. The park is home to many birds, among them peacocks, ducks and swans, but also other animals like squirrels, which often like to interact with the park visitors. Royal Baths Park is visited by tourists from all over the world and serves as a venue for music, arts and culture. But what I love most about this park is the Chopin piano concerts. I've already shown you this park in November, but this is May, end of May, and it's pretty popular, especially during the summer for the Chopin concerts given by most renowned Chopin pianists. And on Sundays it's very full because that's when the Chopin concerts are. And so that's why you see all these people around. And behind me is this palace where there's also Chopin concerts, but you have to pay to get inside, and the ones outside are for free. It's Sunday, so it's very crowded, but it's still worth to come here. Chopin piano concerts take place here from the second half of May till the end of September, every Sunday at midday and then at 4 p.m. They are free to enter for everyone. Surrounded by nature, listening to Chopin music, it's one of my favorite ways to spend a Sunday afternoon in Warsaw. Park Wilanowski. Wilanów Garden, also known as Wilanów Park, is part of the Palace and Park complex in Warsaw's Wilanów district, located next to the original suburban residence of King John III Sobieski. The central part of the establishment is reminiscent of Renaissance and Baroque styles, characterized by its Italian garden design. The garden at the time of Sobieski was much smaller than it is today. Subsequent owners of Wilanów expanded the area and reconfigured some of its sections. The damage from World War II left the park in poor condition, and it was only through conservation efforts in late 1940s and 1960s that its former glory was restored. Pole Mokotowskie. Mokotów Field, or in Polish Pole Mokotowskie, also sometimes called Marshal Józef Piłsudski Park, is also one of the largest in Warsaw. As you can see around me, it's got some nice water pond areas, which are quite new to the place. It's been renovated. The park itself has been renovated within the last years. But as you can see here in the back, there's a lot of people on the bicycles going through, and a lot of people sitting down on their blankets, just enjoying the time. Especially in the afternoons and in the weekends, it gets very, very busy. There's loads of people with dogs coming here for their pets to, play a little bit, have a lot of time to run around. And here you can see that dogs are not allowed in the ponds, but I bet there's other ponds that dogs are allowed in. What's really cool about this park is that it's actually huge, and everyone can find a place for themselves. Inside this park, there is two bars which are named after cartoon characters, Bolek and Lolek, and that's a place where you can go have a drink, eat some barbecue sausage or other meats, other barbecue things, barbecued things. You can dance a little bit. There's space for everything there, as well as here in the park, space for sports. Just go on a picnic, walk around. So whenever you're in Warsaw, this is one of my favorite parks, and try to come here and enjoy. You won't regret it. Park Szczęśliwicki. Right now I'm on Górka Szczęśliwicka, which is Szczęśliwicka Hill, and it's about 150 meters above the sea level. And you might not know this, but it's actually the highest hill in Warsaw. And behind me you can see the beautiful panoramic view of the modern part of Warsaw. We are in the Park of Szczęśliwice, which was built in the 1960s, soon after World War II. As you might know, Warsaw was completely ruined, almost completely ruined. So this place, before the war, was a place for like a trash dump. Like people would leave their trash here. And after the war, additional to the trash, there was also loads and loads of debris. So what happened? The new authorities decided to make it into a place of recreation, relaxation, and mix it up with the idea of a traditional park. So this is where we are, Szczęśliwicki Park. Park Krasińskich. Krasiński Garden in Warsaw is a historic municipal park established in the Baroque style in 1676 as part of the Garden Palace complex known as Krasiński Palace. When it was established, this relatively small park was the largest in Warsaw. It was opened to the public on April 1st, 1768. It is one of the oldest parks and has witnessed many events in Polish history, like the victorious battle of the November Uprising insurgents against the Volhynian Regiment. During World War II, one of the park's sides marked the boundary of the Jewish ghetto. Both the park and the palace located inside were destroyed during the Warsaw Uprising. After the war, the park area was expanded to include, among other things, the grounds of the neighboring buildings that were not rebuilt after wartime destruction. Both the palace and the park, along with its individual elements, are listed in the Register of Historical Monuments since 1965. But it's not only the buildings here that have witnessed much history. Some of the oldest trees in the park date back to the 19th century. There is so many other parks that you must not miss during your stay in Warsaw. Among them, Skaryszewski Park, located between Wedel Chocolate Factory and the National Stadium. And Fort of Ben, where you can go canoeing for free. But I'll talk about that in another episode.